Let's talk about the unsung hero of our modern world, the diesel generator. I mean, think about it. It's the machine that keeps the lights on when everything else goes dark. It's a guardian. But for that guardian to be ready to go at a moment's notice, it needs care. So today, we are diving deep into the essentials of diesel generator maintenance.
But first, I want you to think about this question. What is the real cost of silence? You know, that moment when the reassuring hum of a generator just stops. For a hospital, for a data center, for a critical industrial plant, that silence, well, that can be absolutely catastrophic.
Because for a diesel generator, silence means one thing: failure. It means the power is gone, operations have ground to a halt, and the whole reason that machine exists has been totally compromised. The cost isn't just in dollars and cents, it's about reliability, it's about safety, it's about continuity. And preventing that failure, well, that's exactly what we're here to talk about. So, here's the game plan. First, we'll get into why this is so incredibly critical. Then, we're going to break down the 3 main tiers of maintenance. After that, we'll walk through a super detailed preventative checklist, system by system. Then we'll cover the formal, step-by-step procedure, and we'll wrap it all up with the absolute must-know rules for keeping things safe.
Okay, let's jump right into our first section. Why does maintenance really matter? And trust me, this goes so much deeper than just ticking a box on some form. This is about protecting a truly critical asset.
You know, it all really boils down to these 4 pillars. First off, proper maintenance means the engine just runs better, which improves your fuel economy. And hey, who doesn't like saving money? Second, and this is huge, it drastically cuts down the risk of an unexpected and usually very expensive breakdown. Third, you're literally extending the life of the engine. That means pushing that huge capital expense of replacing it way, way down the road. But honestly, the most crucial point is the last one. It ensures that when you desperately need that power, it's there. Period.
All right, so how do we actually structure all of this? The best way to think about generator maintenance is like a health plan for your engine. There are different levels of care, and each one has a very specific job to do. First up, you've got preventative maintenance. This is your routine stuff, the regular checkup. These are the simple things you're doing every day, week, and month. Then you step it up to predictive maintenance. This is more like a deep diagnosis, using specialized tools like oil and vibration analysis to predict problems before they even happen. It's like seeing the future, catching a failure before it's even visible. And finally, you have major maintenance. This is the big one, the scheduled major surgery, a full engine overhaul that's planned way in advance to basically hit the reset button on the machine's life. For our purposes today, we're really going to focus on that first tier, preventative maintenance. Why? Because it is the absolute foundation of everything else. So, let's take a little tour system by system through the engine's most vital parts. We have to start with the engine's lifeblood, the lubrication system. It sounds simple, but it's so critical. You're checking the oil level, sure, but also its quality. Is it clean or is it getting gritty? Swapping out the oil and filters on schedule is completely non-negotiable, and you have to make sure that oil pressure is exactly where the manufacturer says it should be. Because low pressure means metal on metal, and that leads to catastrophic wear. Fast. Next up, the cooling system. Let me be blunt. An engine that overheats is an engine that dies. So you're constantly checking that coolant level. You're giving the radiator, the pump, and all the hoses a good look for any leaks or cracks. And here's a pro tip that gets overlooked all the time. Just cleaning the dust and grime off the radiator fins can be the difference between running cool and a total shutdown from overheating. It's that simple. Okay, let's talk fuel. An engine gets its power from fuel, but only if that fuel is clean and delivered correctly. Dirty fuel is a killer. It clogs up filters and wrecks your very sensitive injectors. The key takeaway is simple. Keep those filters clean. And you have to always be on the lookout for fuel leaks. It's not just wasted money, it is a serious fire hazard. You know, an engine needs to breathe, just like us. That's the air intake system's job, to provide oxygen for combustion. A clogged air filter? That's like asking your engine to run a marathon while breathing through a tiny straw. It's just not going to work. The engine will be starved for air, you'll get black smoke, less power, it's a mess. And it's one of the easiest checks to do. And finally, we get to the electrical system. Look, you can have the most perfectly maintained engine in the world, but if the battery's dead or the connections are all corroded, you've just got a very large, very expensive paperweight. Checking the battery's health, making sure the terminals are spotless, and testing the starter. That's what ensures the generator will actually roar to life when you hit that switch. Now, what's so cool about this slide is how it connects all the dots for us. Think of this table as your diagnostic cheat sheet. It shows you the direct line between a symptom you're seeing and its most likely cause. Is the engine overheating? Bet you it's low coolant or a dirty radiator. Is the power output weak? It's probably a fuel injection problem. See? This isn't guesswork. It's a roadmap built on good maintenance habits.
Okay, so we know what to check. Now let's get into how to do it like a pro. This isn't just about tinkering around with a wrench. It's a formal, structured process that's designed for one thing: getting it done safely and correctly every single time.
Everything, and I mean everything, starts with prep. That means a safe shutdown, letting the engine cool down properly, and, most importantly, applying lockout-tagout, or LOTO. This physically prevents the machine from being started while you're working on it. It's non-negotiable. Only then do you start your visual inspection and move through those core systems we just talked about: lubrication, fuel, and cooling, doing the service each one needs. So we continue on servicing the air and electrical systems. Step 8 gets a bit more technical with valve clearances and injection timing. But listen, the job isn't done yet. Step 9, the engine run test, is absolutely essential. You start it up, you listen, you watch the gauges, and you make sure everything is perfect before you put it back in service. And maybe the most overlooked step of all, documentation. Logging your work creates a history that is completely invaluable for the next person.
So what does this actually look like over time? Well, this timeline gives you a good feel for the rhythm. You've got your simple visual checks that happen daily. Then you've got slightly more involved tasks like cleaning filters that are weekly. But then you see it transitions to a schedule based on operating hours. Oil changes, deeper checks, those happen every few hundred hours, all building up to a really thorough engine inspection every year.
And what about the really long game? That's what this number is all about. This is the typical operating window before you'd schedule a major engine overhaul, the ultimate step in the maintenance cycle. We're talking years of reliable service, all leading up to a planned, major refresh to get it ready for thousands of more hours. This isn't a reaction to a failure. This is the sign of a successful strategy.
All right, we're almost at the end here, and I've saved what is arguably the most important topic for last. You can know every single procedure inside and out, but if you don't do it safely, none of the rest of it matters. These rules right here, they are absolute. Lockout-tagout is your #1 defense against a catastrophic accident. Never, ever open a hot radiator. That system is under pressure and can cause serious burns. Fuel spills are an immediate fire hazard, period. Always wear your PPE, your gloves, your goggles. And above all else, the manufacturer's manual is your Bible. It has the exact specs and procedures for your machine. Follow it, to the letter.
So after going through all the systems, the procedures, and seeing what's really at stake, I'm going to leave you with this to think about. What's that one small check, that one simple step that from now on you will make sure you never, ever skip again? Because in the world of diesel generators, it's those small, consistent actions that prevent that very, very costly sound of silence.